Welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and my website, macjacksonjr.com. And give us a thumbs up on our social media. I'm here today, back with this segment with Sonia Pedowick. How you doing?
I'm good.
Very good. We're going to continue our talk about cybersecurity news.
Yes.
So, we were talking about, in the break, we were slight talk about Equifax.
Yeah.
So, if you've been watching, folks, from any cave or you're hiding under a rock somewhere, you probably heard the story from a pigeon over your head that Equifax had a cyber breach of 143 million customers had their information compromised with over 209,000 credit cards, which is chump change, folks. They have a lot more than that been stolen. But that information's been stolen. So this week, with all that hype going on, this week Equifax comes out and says, sorry, we need to update that number.
Yeah.
There's additional, 2 to 3 million more cards stolen. So it's about 145 million. That's about half of all adult in the U.S. Their information compromised. It's very important, folks. It's very, very, very important because that information can be used for all kinds of nefarious activities. I'll tell you one.
Oh my gosh.
Let's say you have a house.
Yeah.
And you have equity in your home. The hackers can get your information and then apply for equity credit line.
Because, you mentioned credit cards, but it's not just credit cards. There's credit cards, there's addresses, there's birth dates, there's driver's license numbers, so it's all the PII, right? That you talked about, personal identifiable information.
That's
I'm becoming an expert.
That's right.
And that they, collectively, with all those pieces together, can now go and do that harm.
Right. Collectively with all the information.
Yes.
So what's happened, folks, like I explained to my customers and clients, in the darknet, there are a jigsaw puzzle. And the jigsaw puzzle, just think of your photo of you. And there's a lot of little pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. And what the hackers are doing is trying to put together all these different parts and pieces of the jigsaw puzzle representing your profile, your image. Once they get this jigsaw puzzle put together of you, they can then take it and talk to other hackers online and to sell it for some sort of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So they can't be identified. So having your pieces of the puzzle, those pieces are at the credit reporting agencies or anywhere that has your personal identifiable information.
Right. So it used to be they get a portion or part of your credit card number or the whole number.
Yep.
And the scams used to be that they would call you as if you were, and this happened to us, that they would call you as if they were American Express.
Yes.
And they would say, hey, so-and-so, I have this information. Can you now give me the last 4 of your social? Can you do this? So now you're verifying your personal information.
Yes.
Because you don't think, wait, I should get off this phone call. And always, never take those phone calls. IRS calls you, credit card companies call you.
And they sound legitimate.
They do.
They'll sound legitimate. They'll come across and they'll give you more information about you.
Right.
You'll think, wow, this sounds pretty legitimate.
Right.
They know my birthday, they know where I was born, my mom's maiden name, where she went to high school. Wow, they must be pretty.
Yes.
Must be them. And then they'll say, great, can you verify last 4 digits of your social security number? You're like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. And then ding, ding, ding.
Then they get you. Again, filling in more of a jigsaw puzzle, folks.
But that's how, now the hack gave them so much more of that information.
Correct.
So they don't have to work as hard now to create another profile of you.
That's correct.
And I thought I had heard also that in some cases it was maybe some of the security questions related to some accounts. So like
that's really bad.
Yeah, your mother's maiden name, what was your, pet in high school, whatever
your first
it is.
vacation you took as a child.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very secure.
Yeah.
And for them to know that information about you can be very, very haunting in a sense, right?
Yep.
Because they'll have that. Now, think of those folks. They have that part of the puzzle. So then, let's say they're your loan title company they hack into. They can get copies of what? Your signature.
Yes.
So now they have your signature. They go to another financial institution and apply in your name. There's your signature. There's your security questions.
Yeah.
With your account.
All your PII.
Now they're affecting, folks, our Constitution. Because in our country, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
It's now the reverse because of these hackers. You're guilty till proven innocent. Now you have collectors calling you going, hey, you owe us $50,000.
Yeah.
Prove that it's not you. And you have to prove that it's not you versus them proving that it was you.
Yeah.
Because they have this jigsaw puzzle that's put together in your name.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
It's really unfortunate.
Very much so. So there's been Senate subcommittee meetings with Equifax, right? Talking about them. And
infuriating to watch.
Yes. The CFO or CEO.
CEO. Yeah.
He's going to be retiring.
Yeah. Well, he's resigned.
He resigned because of this, but it's a nice parachute on his sleeve. There was 3 executives that sold stock, $1.8 million of stock they sold was August.
Yes.
And the hack happened between mid-May and end of July, so those executives knew about it, but they still sold stock.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
But it's also, before that, there was a third-party company that did an audit, an assessment audit, right? And made recommendations saying that, hey, you guys need to have these update patches.
Right.
And they didn't do those update patches. So this week I understand that Equifax is saying that there's an individual employee.
The CEO said it.
Yes, that's right.
Basically, you can read his statement online and you can watch his testimony. But basically, it was like one person, one patch, which, that's something to think about. As an owner of a business, where does the responsibility lie? Yes, this employee should have done it. Yeah.
It's only as strong as the one link, right? Weakest link. So was that employee the weakest link?
And did he get fired? And what was he compensated? Did he get a golden parachute? You can go into the whole ethics of that whole thing.
But now it's even more now, because law enforcement will go after that individual criminally.
Right.
That employee now. So folks, it's not just you get a slap on the wrist or you get fired.
Right.
No, you have attorney generals from around the world that will come after you, and you have financial and also criminal charges because of your act.
Yeah.
Overtly as it may be, you have to prove that you did it, didn't know it. So what do they come back and say? So let's see your policies and procedures. Was this employee trained?
Right.
Right? And if the employee was not trained on cybersecurity awareness education, folks, so we've been talking, no incident response plan set up, or if it was lax in it, they can be in trouble. So that's why we're saying to you folks that you need to have your employees trained with cybersecurity awareness training.
I was talking to some small businesses recently, and I think it's interesting because they don't think that they're vulnerable, right? They don't think that they're vulnerable. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I thought, okay, what sort of data are you holding on to? And then you get to it, it's really maybe not the public's, different businesses have different things.
Sure.
But, every business typically will have their own employees' information, right? Their I-9s, their new hire packets, those type of things.
For HR, sure.
Right. And how do you protect that if you're not educating your workforce, which you are responsible for, on how to have secure passwords, how to not share them, what to click on, what not to click on? And there's some companies in town, we've talked about it before, that are very strict. It's like one click and that's it.
Right.
You're either done or there's an escalation. You can no longer receive attachments.
Right.
So how do you do your job if you can't get attachments? You now have to collaborate in a different way at work. And then if you get that right back and you do it again, then you're just terminated. So you can lose a job, lose a career, and then you have a mark on your employment history.
Because they're rushing to judgment, or rushing to come up with policies without using Q&A, right? Thinking it through, what could happen.
Yeah.
I take it very simply, and people I'm in contact with, looking at data as 3 stages.
Okay.
The first one is where it came from. The second is how it's stored in your organization. And the third is how you destroy it.
Yeah.
You get rid of it. Companies need to think about that. In other words, do you need to have this data, PII, of this individual employee or of a customer? And you think about those stages. So now there's talk of redaction on certain documents, even attachments, having it redacted.
Yeah.
You can, in other words, send a file that has an attachment attached to it. If you're not the proprietary person for it, you can email that file, but it won't be open. It's locked. It's encrypted because you do not have the authority to do it. So there's things like that that are being worked on now. It's going to make it a little bit more
cumbersome.
That's a good term. Cumbersome for companies to work with, but it's going to give us another layer of protection.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so risky out there. You just never know. And with the proliferation of it all, it just seems like more and more people are going to... We don't know really what the impact is until people start having these things happen to them. 143 million. When's the first house going to be bought? When's the first car going to be refinanced? What's going to happen? And then how are they going to collect that data to know what was the impact of this situation?
Very true. Very true. Yeah, it's a lot going to happen from that. So the best way, folks, is to have your employees trained. I have a workshop coming up this month on the 25th of October, and I would definitely invite you to have your employees trained. What we're going to do is talk about the stages of data and how your company can utilize this data and your responsibilities in exercising its creation and its destruction within your organization. Training your front desk person when they get that phone call from someone that wants to know information about a previous employee or try to get access to your business. What should they do? Policies and procedures. You all should have it. Find out more. Go to my website, macjacksonjr.com, and sign up for our workshop coming up October 25th. Folks, I'll be right back with Sonia Pedowick after these messages. Thank you.